Republican Senator Mitch McConnell has announced that he will step down as the party leader in November in time for the election. The Kentucky senator, who turned 82 last week, will leave as the longest-serving Senate leader in history. Let's break this down with our US analyst, Michael Ware. Michael, you surprised?
Well, certainly members of his own party were surprised. They weren't informed. They've said so this morning. But in a sense, broadly, no, I'm not surprised. Because on one level, this is a passing of the baton from, as he said, for the next generation. So from him to the next generation. But more broadly, what his, standing down truly represents is the end of Ronald Reagan's Republican Party. And he all but virtually said as much.
The shiny house on the hill, he referred to that, didn't he, today, Michael?
Absolutely, yeah. I believe more strongly than ever, America's global leadership is essential to preserving the shining city on a hill that Ronald Reagan discussed. For as long as I am drawing breath on this earth, I will defend American exceptionalism. And that's no longer the spirit of the Republican Party. So I see this as far more than just a leadership change, but this is a total shift in the identity of the GOP.
I mean, I just thought, like the Pope, he'd die in the role. So I guess I was a little surprised that he would do that. But he's going to stay on in the Senate, isn't he? So what?
Yeah, mate, you've still got until 2027.
Yeah. So he's staying on. What sort of an effect is he going to have from the sidelines? How much influence is he going to have there?
I don't think a great deal because, I think, as in the House of Representatives, the Senate is most likely to be hijacked or dominated by these, ultra-conservative fanatics on the right. So he may be able to chip away. He may be a backdoor way to achieve some bipartisanship. But given that this is essentially, in Australian terms, John Howard's Liberal Party has been taken over by Pauline Hanson. So, what role can he possibly hope to play, except perhaps to be a shadow, a ghost, a reminder of their conscience?
Well, it's health issues that have really dominated his appearances over the past few months. A couple of times, well-known freezing episodes. Here's one of them here from a few months back. You mentioned there the last of, the Reagan disciples, if we can put it that way. What was he good? How will history judge him, Michael?
Look, that's a great question, mate, because, history will be mixed. As you say, he is the longest serving party leader in the Senate. He won 9 leadership elections. That can never be taken away from him. After the January 6th insurrection, he refused to take Donald Trump's impeachment from the House into the Senate for a trial, or he didn't want to have the trial, didn't want to find Donald Trump guilty, which would have banned Donald Trump from running for office ever again. Yeah. Instead, he said, let the courts judge Donald Trump. And that's precisely what they're doing. So, look, history may hang him on just that one point alone, because on January 6th, he was screaming for help. And then days later, he abandons what you could argue are his principles. But he has been a stalwart. He has been bipartisan. And I think he has been an extraordinary, honourable member of the US Senate.
Okay.